Hey everybody, how you doing? It is a gorgeous Monday. Minnesota, it is like 30 some degrees and it's kind of melting. We're looking forward to hopefully getting some more snow later this week and maybe some colder temperatures so we can get the sleds out and do something fun. Anywho, today I wanted to get on here and just talk a little bit and challenge on a thought. So I've got on the title where it says it's working on yourself versus in yourself. And this comes from a business principle of working on your business versus in your business. So what the heck does that mean? And why am I bringing it around to this piece? Well, here's the reason. In business, that means working on yourself or working on your business and in your business. In your business stuff is the day-to-day mundane stuff that you could pay someone just to do. That's the stuff that is that really doesn't take not that it wouldn't take any thought process, but doesn't take a lot of thought process. It's something that is going to be fairly routine, gets done over and over. Once you've done it a few times, you've kind of got it nailed, right? That's the in your business stuff. The on your business is what we think we look at as your higher level, more strategic thinking piece. That is looking at where are we at, where are we going, what things can we put in place to try and do that. It's the plan, do, review, adjust. Plan, do, review, adjust piece of working in your business. I was thinking about that today. I'm like, that applies to us as we're trying to quote unquote man up and what we're working on in ourselves. Because we have to just like in business where we have to give ourselves the time and allow ourselves the time to think and work on our business versus in our business, that strategic higher level thinking, because it's just as important. I think we have to make sure that we give ourselves enough grace and enough time to work on ourselves, that higher level strategic thinking of where we're going and who we are and what that looks like and the different strategies we're going to put in place to get there. Plan, do, review, adjust. Because none of us are going to, it's kind of like golf. Golf is one of the most frustrating sports out there because it can go from swing to swing, from hole to hole, where you can feel like an absolute rock star. And then that very next swing where you shank one into the tulies, into the rhubarb. I'm back there with a phone call. And you go, what on earth happened there? Well, how could I go from being a rock star and hitting the perfect shot to not? That's the game. That therein lies the challenge, right? If you could hit it perfect every single time, it'd be like, whatever. It's boring. So I think that piece, when we look at when we're trying to improve and be better, is we're not going to hit it we're not going to hit a smooth, sweet shot every single time. We're going to be screwing it up. We're going to shank one into the rhubarb every now and then, right? Whether that's in business, with our kids, with our wife, with ourselves, whatever that looks like. We're all shank worthy. So what I wanted to challenge you is a little bit different thought process, and it comes from Seth Godin. Some people have heard of him. He's a fairly well-known business guy. I like a lot of what he has to say. It challenges me to think a little bit differently than I normally would, and that's another tip for you. Surround yourself with people who think different than you do, then if you really want to grow. But I like what he had to say, and it's regarding the local max versus big max. So again, we're talking about a twofer here. The first one was working on yourself versus in yourself, working on your business versus in your business. This is your local max versus your big max. And so I'm going to try and see if I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to try to flip the phone around because it'd be actually really good for you guys to see what I'm talking about versus, and you don't need to see my mug like this. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so see if I can zoom in. Okay, hopefully that isn't reversed. I really hope not. Okay, so if I can hold this steady, let's see if I can get this. Bear with me while I try and get it squared away. Okay, there we go. So you've got your local max right there. So that is where when you're growing a business, or in this case when we're working on ourselves, that's kind of your main goal. That's if you can hit. Let's see if I can do this a little bit better so it's more stable. That's a little bit better. Not a ton, but a little bit. I'll take a little, right? So that is a spot where you've kind of, you feel like you've almost arrived. Now what happens is, a lot of times, you start working hard, you start working even harder, and for A is the first step, then you hit your local max, you're like, oh hey, I've arrived, I'm doing really well, and then all of a sudden you slip back down. It's like you're working hard, but you kind of backslide a little bit. And then the next tough spot is C, right? Oh boy, right there, C. C is an absolute nasty place to be in, because this is the place where you really go through that growth piece of where you're working on, in this case you're working on your business, but you're working on yourself. It's not a fun place. This is a place where you're having to be honest with yourself, honest in your business, and figure out where you need to grow and how you're going to grow. Now D, right there, that's the old A. And this is what normally, people think of it this way. Well, let's see if I can get here. They see this. That's normally all they see. They see their local max, and they think that's the sweet spot. That's where they got to get to. And then all of a sudden, as they go through this phase down here, and they start to go up again. Now look, D, they still haven't hit the top, but it's higher than what their old local max was. The big max, right there, that's where some of the cool stuff happens. That's like you've really put yourself out there. You really, you've really done something cool with your business. Oh boy, let's see if I can get this straight. And that's kind of how it is in personal growth too. I mean, if you really think, it figures. I start doing a video and I get 2 phone calls. I haven't got a call all day. But anyway, so but you look at that piece of where we think, hey, you know what? I've got this marriage thing figured out. I'm doing really well. And then you wake up the next day and you go, oh, shank one into the rhubarb. Oh, I got some work to do. So that was your local max. Now you start to, because as your relationship evolves and your marriage evolves, things change, right? So now you have to kind of adapt. You go through that BC phase now where, okay, I'm trying to be better. I'm working on myself, because the only thing I can work on, the only thing I can change is me. I can't change my partner. I can't do anything for them. They have to do it for themselves. And now you're trying to get to that D, that big max, that next place of awesomeness, if you will. So I think that's the point I wanted to get across tonight or today, not tonight. I'm so used to doing these at night. Is that giving yourself the permission to recognize where your local max is, that you've hit it, and maybe it's time to go for a big max. It's not a big Mac, a big max. But to understand that that first arrival isn't necessarily the main arrival. And that there's another arrival that's possible for you. And not to limit yourself based on preconceived notions. And to give yourself that opportunity, that peace, and that time to really be able to improve and to work on yourself versus in yourself. Don't get lost in the day-to-day mundane junk that's going on. Allow yourself to think at a higher level, to take a 10,000-foot view down at your life and where you're at and where you're going, and then make a plan on how to get there from there. So, somebody said, what's in the bottle? That is Macallan. So it's a Highland single malt Scotch whiskey. It's very, very delicious. I haven't had any today. Nothing today. Anyway, hope you guys all have a great rest of the day. Hopefully that makes sense. If you got any questions on this, this is one of my favorite subjects to talk about. So if you got any questions, comment below, and I'll try and scroll through and comment as well. All right, guys. Hope you all have a great rest of the day. Yeah, we'll probably talk before Christmas. Catch y'all later.